Hey guys, it's been a while. Yeah, life has been crazy this year. Start a new job. Everybody's kind of in the wind with, professional and personal things. So we're going to get started live streaming again soon. I know I promised that before, but it's just a matter of time. Yeah, everything's going good. Training's going good. We've all gotten little promotions here and there, little positive accolades, little, what do you call it? Objectives completed, so to speak. Now, with that being said, received a link to a video that a friend of mine wanted to get my opinion on, and it's from a gentleman named Tim Hartman. He's a Filipino martial arts instructor. A little bit of an older gent, probably I'd say about 10 years older than me, which is fine. Neither here nor there. But anyways, just a point of reference. While I opened up the video, I didn't watch it, so I'm going to watch it for the first time with you guys. I noticed a few more that I wanted to review based on title alone. But let's get started. Now, the first one is Filipino martial artist versus a wrestler. And I might bounce back and forth a little bit because when I opened this one, the link to this one, it automatically played, so I had to stop it. But let's see what it says.
As a Filipino martial artist, you know who would win, a Filipino martial artist or a wrestler. As a Filipino martial artist, you know I'm going to say me or us. But first of all, you have to take two equally trained people, apples to apples, okay? But here's the thing.
No, you don't. How would you equate equally trained between two different martial arts? What would an expert wrestler look like, and what would a expert Filipino martial artist look like? How would you come to that conclusion? How would you make that judgment call? And a expert level person in wrestling is probably it's a completely different skill set than from what my understanding is of Filipino martial arts. So yeah, I'm not really sure how that would be accomplished, but let's continue.
What's the whole idea of wrestling? Pin the opponent. I'm not going to pin the opponent. I'm going to punch the opponent. I'm going to kick the opponent. If they take me down, I thumb them in the eye, I can pull hair, I can do all these different things.
So can they. I'm not really sure what context he's talking about. If he's talking about an art-on-art fight, I assume that the wrestler isn't going to simply just try to pin you. They're going to try to fight you, which isn't going to include all the dirty tactics that he just pointed out. But I think there was maybe another point in there, so I'm going to rewind a little bit.
If they take me down, I thumb them in the eye, I can pull hair, I can do all these different things. Not to mention, I have a whole bunch of locks and controls that I can do from anyone.
Locks and controls? I don't know about that. I mean, I'm sure that you have those skills, but applying them to somebody with a wrestling background, that's going to be pretty tough.
One's guard, from my back, whatever the case may be. If I play the wrestling game, they're going to probably pin me really fast. But if I'm playing the survival game, I'm going to put my skills up against anyone of equal talent. Let me know what you think below.
Survival game? But in a survival context, you don't know what the situation is going to be, who you're going to be going up against. So going up against somebody of equal talent, even if you could equate that in this particular matchup, that doesn't make sense. Because in a survival situation, you don't know what you're going to face, really. What if that quote-unquote wrestler is a Division I college wrestler? What if he's an Olympic wrestler? What if he's a mediocre wrestler that has a boxing background? What if he's a mediocre wrestler that has a Filipino martial arts background that is equal to yours? Like that, it's a little bit strange. It's a strange point of view to have, but that's just my opinion. Let's continue.
And for more things about how Filipino martial arts stacks up to other systems, make sure you follow. Who would win, a Filipino martial artist or a wrestler?
All right. Yeah, I disagree with him, but that doesn't mean a hill of beans, really. Let's go to the next one.
This is why
BJJ is silly in real-life situations like this one. All right, let's see what he has to say.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is silly in a self-defense situation. So recently, one of my fans out there said, oh, how can you be a legitimate martial artist? You're wearing shoes. Well, sorry for not being part of the Barefoot Brigade, but many martial arts use shoes. Wrestlers wear shoes, boxers wear shoes, Kung Fu wears shoes, which meant Bruce Lee, which everyone idolizes. They all wear shoes. And in the Philippines, we train outdoors in the streets. You need shoes. You don't go barefoot there. Furthermore, let's paint the situation. You're in a bar. You're about to throw down because whatever happens and you can't avoid it and you try to do your job. What are you going to do? Run in the closet, take your shoes off, put on your little spandex outfit, come out of the closet, and then engage someone. So by then, I'm...
What? I mean, where does he get the idea that BJJ can't be done in a self-defense scenario with shoes on? There's plenty of videos on YouTube that you can search where law enforcement officers and just, BJJ practitioners have successfully defended themselves outside of their gyms with shoes on, wearing jeans and regular clothes. And hell, even in the case of the law enforcement officers, wearing, body armor and all sorts of gear. So that's a very strange statement. Especially that comment the comment he made about being, coming out of the closet wearing spandex, you know what I mean? I think he's just trolling. I don't think he's serious about what he's saying in this video.
I'm walking out the bar because you're doing a little wardrobe change or at least just taking your shoes off in the meantime. I'm out in the parking lot. You come after me. What am I going to do? I'm going to stomp on your toes.
Okay. I mean, you could stomp on somebody's toes with their shoes on. It's still going to hurt as well. It's a little questionable, but let's continue.
How's that going to go? And like I said, whether you do the full wardrobe change, your little spandex outfits, or you just take your shoes off, how is that really going to... This is why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu...
Yeah, I think he was trolling. He didn't really make any good points there. But whatever. Let's move on to the next one.
So why
Filipino martial arts is better than BJJ? This should be good.
Filipino martial arts better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? People ask me that all the time. Both are good, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is phenomenal at working ground material. Matter of fact, I'm a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the time of this video. But
really? So that makes me question what you said in the previous video a little bit more, but okay, let's continue.
They work at ground techniques only. We work all the ranges.
That's not true. As a BJJ instructor, a heavy part of my class, we start on our feet and we drill takedowns, throws. Foot sweeps a little bit, but we do a lot from standing. And heck, sometimes our classes are just, techniques from the standing position. But that's just how. That depends on how I feel and who's in the class. I like to. My class is like the end of the week Friday class, so I like to keep it a little bit fresh and keep everybody on their toes about things. But either way, most. Yeah, I guess the more accurate answer from my end is it depends on which BJJ school you go to. A lot of the ones around here, the head instructors are also black belts in judo, so you're going to get a really good stand-up game. But let's continue.
And as good as they are at wrapping people up and cuddling on the ground, I'm really, 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 really good at smashing people with a stick.
Oh, yeah. Well, one thing that you don't understand, or let me rephrase. One thing about that, if you're carrying sticks around, you might get stopped by the police. And if you get into a fight and you're armed and the other person is unarmed, that's an unequal application of force, and more than likely you're going to get charged. But, yeah, let's continue.
People are going to say, hey, what if you don't have a stick? I'm really, 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 really good at stabbing people with a knife.
And that would be cause for somebody to, especially if they're concealed carrying, to ventilate you. And they would more than likely not get charged, especially in a stand your ground state. So good luck with that.
What if you don't have a knife? I'm really good at punching and kicking, and I know how to grapple to prevent being taken down. So
I'll take your word for it.
if you have a choice, my recommendation for you.
I mean, come on, dude. You can't honestly believe that most BJJ practitioners only know BJJ. If you look at many of the schools in Northern Virginia, for example, a lot of them have Muay Thai classes. So the striking is there. So a lot of the guys around here have a working knowledge of striking, have a working knowledge of throwing, have a working knowledge of takedowns on top of their ground game. And if you're going to come at them armed, especially in Virginia, you can conceal carry here. It's not going to work out well for you. Like, I like you, and I think you're a very knowledgeable person. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you're just kind of pushing people's buttons for clicks, which is fine. Work your magic, but I find it hard to believe that these are actually your honest opinions. But let's continue.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is great to enrich what your combatives are, but if you're looking for something that's effective, you come to the Filipino martial arts. And then later, if you want to work on a ground game, you can work with all those guys. They are phenomenal at teaching how to cuddle with each other. And once again, I'm a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and as martial arts, we need to poke fun at ourselves and others at times. So why is Filipino martial
that little bit right there just leads me to believe you're just plugging your school and your art. That's fine. It is what it is. Now let's move on to the last one.
Why Filipino martial arts is better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the zombie apocalypse. Well, let's think about this. How is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player going to deal with a zombie?
With a gun?
They're going to pull guard. They're going to cuddle with...
No. Especially not my students. If they're unarmed, they're not pulling guard. But, with a gun.
The zombie. So what are they going to do? They're going to do an arm bar. They're going to do a triangle choke. They're going to do a rear naked
On a zombie? No. It's not going to do anything to a zombie.
choke. They're going to do Kimura. Everything they do gets a body part dangerously close to those teeth. So what's going to happen? They're either going to be part of the buffet or become part of the zombie nation.
Or they're going to use their guns.
Filipino martial artists, we walk away. We stab them. We hit them. We stab them again. We hit them again. We don't cuddle with the zombies. So for more information about surviving the zombie apocalypse, make sure you follow. Why?
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. Let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later.